Key ideas. What is organizational capacity for racial equity improvement? Do you know what school capacity for racial equity improvement is? In my book, Stuck Improving, I introduce several new concepts that I hope will help educators strengthen, grow, and accelerate school improvements that benefit Black and Brown students. In this video, I break down the concept of school capacity for racial equity improvement, what it is, and why it matters. My name is Dakota Irby. I'm a parent, educator, musician, and author of several books. School capacity for racial equity improvement refers to the organizational resources that support school-wide racial equity reforms, increase educators' racial consciousness, and improve learning experiences and outcomes for students of color. You've probably heard of organizational capacity before. For schools, it refers to a collection of organizational resources that support school-wide reform, teacher change, and ultimately the improvement of student learning. Resources can include people, learning materials and books, attitudes, as well as things like what people in the school know and appreciate. Organization policies and practices are also resources. To make these ideas more concrete, I invite you to think of a science, technology, engineering, and math school. If you were to walk into that school, what resources do you think would be available to advance the school's commitment to STEM? Did a science lab come to mind? Maybe a robotics or coding program? Would you anticipate seeing teachers creating opportunities for experimentation and trial and error? What about the invisible things like people who have a genuine love for using mathematical reasoning to solve problems? Now, think of a performing arts school. If you walked into that school, what resources would you expect to see? Perhaps the theater, resources for set design, costume design, and lighting. Opportunities for students to read plays, create music, and so forth. Teachers who have an affinity for and ability to teach performing arts. What would students be reading? Plays? August Wilson, maybe? When combined with other resources, such as a shared vision, a culture of collaboration, and sufficient time and structure for adults to plan and learn, one can reasonably expect to see a high-performing STEM or performing arts school. How do these examples relate to a school's capacity for racial equity improvement? Well, it's widely accepted that if an organization lacks the capacity to reform or improve in an identified area, its efforts are doomed to fail. One wouldn't expect a STEM school to produce performing artists and vice versa. I apply this same argument to thinking about the capacity of schools to enact transformative racial equity improvements. Stuck Improving focuses on helping educators name and learn to cultivate the racial equity resources that are an essential part of school improvement. These resources include Black and Brown people's influential presence, curated white racial discomfort, a courageously confrontational school culture, collective awareness of racial emotions and beliefs, and race-conscious inquiry cycles, a form of leadership. If administrators, Teachers and educators are serious about creating racially equitable schools. They have to understand, tap into, and grow their organization's racial resources as part of their racial equity improvement work. Trying to achieve racial equity improvement without focusing on organizational capacity will not help your school graduate college and career-ready students, foster a sense of belonging, and fortify students' racial and ethnic identities. It will make teaching and leading for social justice and equity an experience of being stuck. There you have it. Organizational capacity for racial equity improvement. What it is and why it matters for improving your school. If you haven't already done so, I encourage you to purchase and read Stuck Improving, where I dedicate a full chapter to each of the concepts I've outlined in this video. If you found this information useful, please click through the additional videos and share a link to this video with others who may appreciate it. You can also find a downloadable PDF of this information on my website, stuckimproving.com. Until next time, stay in the struggle and remember, progress is possible and so is a more equitable world.